What's going on, H-Town NBA fans all over the world? Let's go ahead and get into Rockets Daily, brought to you by Fan Arch. Another episode, another week. Happy to be here. Getting to the midway point of the month of November. Thanksgiving's going to be coming up soon. Big holiday season. And, man, time is really flowing by fast. Rockets, 9 games into the season. Couple games to talk about. Last talked to you guys Friday. We were previewing the game against the Spurs. Well, had that NBA Cup against the Spurs, and also, sandwiched in with some really exciting NFL football. Had a Houston Rockets game against the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday. So we'll go ahead and dive into both of those games and look a little bit inside of the numbers so far for your Houston Rockets as well. My name is David Delano. This is Rockets Daily. Only thing that I ask from you guys, and it's a free country. Nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do. But if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, I definitely would appreciate it. And if you feel moved to comment on anything that you see on the show today or here or anything going on in the Rockets, anything in your mind, needs of the team, how you're feeling about things right now, what you're feeling good about, what you're not feeling good about, how you feel about some of these advanced analytics. Are you feeling better than you did before the season started? Worse? Whatever. Feel free to leave those NBA and Houston Rockets comments in the comments section of this video. Once again, let's go ahead and get into today's episode of Rockets Daily, brought to you by Fan Arch. So got a little bit of a taste. I know it's not the playoffs, but got a little bit of a taste of the much as we can expect to see of playoff basketball in November. NBA on Prime, first NBA Cup group play matchup for the Rockets, trailed the Spurs by 4. Heading into the fourth quarter, Reed Shepard hit a big three with about 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to cut it to 3. But overall, I mean, the Spurs, ball movement, just playing as a team, they were able to get the win. One big thing here, Rockets, your Houston Rockets shot very strong from the free throw line and from the 3-point range, but the San Antonio Spurs, something that we haven't seen happen too often, got to the free throw line just a little more than the Rockets. It was close. Rockets went 19 for 21, good for 90.5%, but the Spurs went 23 for 25, 92%. Rockets 48% from 3, 13 for 27. Spurs 40% for 3, but 18 for 45. And the Rockets were number 1 in the NBA in rebounding rate. Only out rebounded the San Antonio Spurs 41 to 40. So San Antonio's been one of those rare teams so far that has been able to match up on the boards overall. And Wimby had a solid game, but he did go under the point total as projected. But very, very efficient, 8 for 16, 22 points. But they had a very, very strong overall balanced team effort for the San Antonio Spurs in that win. This was one of those games where it stood out. Ball movement wasn't as crisp as it was on the San Antonio side, where you really started to see one of those moments where it's like the Rockets definitely could use a point guard. Reed Shepard played a nice game, 16 points, 6 assists, only 1 turnover. So I was happy to see what from Reed, but still overall long term for the best of this team. Thinking Reed playing off the ball. Amin Thompson, played hard, not a pure point guard. And just had to, like I said, we always nitpick a little bit in these losses, but when you start to think long term, thinking about the Denver Nuggets, thinking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, thinking about these San Antonio Spurs and really running up against some of these top teams, top defensive teams in the NBA. Spurs being balanced on both sides. And I think that this was one of those games where late in the game, the lack of having a true point guard kind of showed up a bit for the Rockets. Now, yesterday on Sunday, after a very, very exciting come from behind win for the Houston Texans with Davis Mills leading the way, went up against a outstanding player in Giannis, and the Milwaukee Bucks, who have been playing well so far. They were coming off of a win on Friday in their NBA Cup matchup against the Chicago Bulls. Came in with a 6-3 record. Milwaukee, they've got some names that not necessarily the flashiest on paper, but they've got some very, very solid players over there. Giannis, they still got Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma, Gary Trent Jr. Ryan Rollins is having an outstanding breakout year. Miles Turner over there. Cole Anthony. So strong team over there with the Milwaukee Bucks. And things got off to a really shaky start for your Rockets, trailed by 11 at the half. Trailed by 3 going into, we trailed the Spurs game 86-82 going into the fourth quarter. Trailed this one 82-85 going into the fourth quarter, but made the big shots late to make the difference. The Rockets actually ended this game on a 22-7 run after trailing by 8 points with 4 minutes and 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter of the game. And someone really, you saw there were pictures. You may not seen the pictures with Kevin Durant walking off the court with his arm around Reed Shepherd, and got to give Reed Shepherd some flowers here. Another 16-point performance, 6 for 10 from the floor for the second game in a row. Shot 4 for 7 for 3 in the loss to San Antonio. Shot 4 for 6 for 3 yesterday. Reed Shepherd definitely showing improvement. Şengün, taking Giannis off the dribble, big basket late, big 3-point play late in the game. 40 minutes, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists for him. Kevin Durant, efficient with 31 points and 7 assists, knocked down both of his threes, 11 for 15 from the floor. You had Jabari Smith Jr. struggled a bit from the floor, 5 for 15, but did knock down some big baskets. Steven Adams continuing to be excellent off of the bench with 12 points and 6 rebounds in this game. Now, as we're looking here with your Houston Rockets now, after these first 9 games, and where do we think that things would be before? Are you disappointed? Are you excited? Are you encouraged? Do you feel the same? Have you not really checked in yet? But so far, when you look at this team overall, with a 6-3 record, and you start to think about where did you think that this team would be before the season started, after a 9-game sample size, I think that this team is really right where you would expect it to be. The math on this comes out pretty clean. The math on this, comes out pretty clean. With the 6-3 record, so far, you look at that comes out to being 54-27 after 81 games. There's 82 games, obviously. So you're looking at a 54-55 win season. Probably battling anywhere between the second seed and the fifth seed in the West. A thin margin. But right now, lost the first 2 games. Came back with winning now 6 out of the next 7 games. Would have been nice to win the game over the Spurs, but not going to win every single game. But now, going into what's ahead, got 3 very, very winnable games, taking on the Washington Wizards on in the next game on Tuesday. Apologize, actually going to be taking on the Washington Wizards on Wednesday, so have a couple days of recovery, and then you got a big game on Friday at home, but it's an NBA Cup play matchup against the Portland Trailblazers, and then taking on the Orlando Magic on Sunday. Rockets really going through pretty long stretches here as far as avoiding back-to-backs, and it's gonna get a little bit tougher there, but we'll just probably look at these next 3 there as far as with the Washington Wizards, who are 1-9, a return game for Cam Whitmore, but a game that you definitely want to handle business with. And then another test, Portland Trailblazers led by Tiago Splinter now with the FBI investigation under Chauncey Billups, but they are definitely playing hard. They're going to be in action. The Portland Trailblazers against the Orlando Magic tonight, so they're on a little bit of a road trip. But really, getting into the numbers here, your Houston Rockets right now, number one in the NBA in rebounding rate. But we're going to talk a little bit about some of the individual numbers, and it's nice to see when you look at the player efficiency ratings. Some of those advanced metrics, they don't mean everything, but they do tell an unbiased story. You can say they don't mean anything, but a lot of times these numbers really equate to have a lot to do with who wins the MVP award. And it helps us to see a little bit more than what our eye test does. So these are just going to be the individual player efficiency numbers around the NBA. And as you can see there at the top, you've got Giannis, you've got Jokic number 2, you've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander number 3, you've got Luka number 4. So those are going to be as far as the guys at the top of the list as far as the NBA goes. So there's definitely something in those numbers as you see, 4 guys that would not surprise you. Clint Capella averaging less than 10 minutes a game, but the number on one rated Rocket overall, number 8. You see Wemby is number 16. You've got Steph Curry next on that list at number 27. But looking at a little bit more here, let me just kill that graphic completely. Let me kill that graphic completely because I did catch an error on there. I apologize. I'm not going to restart the whole thing, but I'll just go ahead and tell you. You've got the big error on this. Number 1 rated Rocket overall right now on these player efficiency ratings. Couple things. You've got Clint Capella, yes, number 8. But Şengün is the number 1 Rocket, number 28 on the list. So Şengün is actually number 28 on the list in the NBA when it comes to the player efficiency rating. Steven Adams is going to be next on the Rockets at number 49. Then we've got Kevin Durant at number 66. We've got Reed Shepherd at number 91. We've got Amin Thompson at number 108. We've got Tari Eason at number 134. We've got Josh Okogie, number 151. And we got Jabari Smith Jr., number 178. So just completely forget that graphic. Except for the top 4 was accurate. The Rockets numbers I'm just noticing there. I apologize for that. We're a little scrambled up. Steph Curry actually number 17. Wemby number 16. But as far as when you look at that, as far as Kevin Durant being number 66, not too worried about it. A lot of it's been, Steven Adams, Şengün, Clint Capella, guys been contributing big with the rebounding numbers, and Kevin Durant hasn't been the biggest assist man or rebounder, but definitely been getting big buckets throughout the season. So I'm not really too worried about it. KD is KD, but one guy I do really want to highlight with those advanced metrics is Reed Shepherd being number 91 and is showing improvement. And I know Reed has got a lot of, just from around the NBA as far as, being, Reed not being the guy, needing to upgrade. But it's only a 9-game sample size, but you got to give him credit. Mime's giving him minutes to play, and 2 big meaningful games. One resulted in a win, one resulted in a loss, but some big shots made for Reed Shepherd. So let me know what you guys think about those 2 games, first 2 games over the weekend for the Rockets, the loss to the Spurs, the win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Anything that you guys want to point out? How are you feeling about Reed Shepherd's progress right now? How you feeling about Kevin Durant? Obviously Jalen Green, you guys may not know, made his debut with the Suns and now got injured. I think he's going to be out at least another 4 to 6 weeks. So Dylan Brooks has been banged up as well. So right now, obviously long term need Kevin Durant to stay healthy, but trade looking at the moment as a no-brainer win for the Rockets, at least through the first 9 games of the season. My name is David Delano. Thanks so much for watching again. This has been Rockets Daily, brought to you by Fan Arch. Go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, and let's have a great day.